Just sounds really good. It sounds perfect for the drop tuning. I'd probably have a little less gain, a little more mids. I'm always trying to get them mids up, but sounds good, sounds really good. For this drop C kind of tuning, I just think it sounds best in that tuning. So what I'm going to do now is, otherwise, we are at 16 minutes, but there's a lot more chugging in this video, so we're going to go to the Engel cab now. Because I don't think that the greenbacks, even though that sounded really good, I don't think the greenbacks suit the Mesa as well as like a V30 style. But, I mean, it sounded good then. Sorry, just having a drink. Right, so now I've got the Engel cab, and where are we now? Ooh, that's got a lot more bass, a lot more scoot. So this has the, let me check. I've forgotten already the amount of bloody. So this has got an SM57 and a Neumann TLM 102. So I changed it up a bit because, like I said, I wasn't really happy with the Splone, but now I've got the Splone sounding really good with this amp. So this has got an SM57, which, from my recollection, is, I think it's just at the edge of the dust cap, and the Neumann is just at the edge of the dust cap as well, but on a different speaker. And this is what it sounds like. So at the moment, first impressions, because I did this yesterday, and trying to get all three speakers to sound good through the microphones, and listening to them because they're that loud, you're hearing us, you don't really know, you're not hearing what you think you're hearing. So at first glance, this does sound a bit nasally, but it sounds so much tighter and so much, not mid-focused, but more aggressive, and it's sounding really good. So what I would probably do is up the mids and the presence and treble to get a bit more bite. Maybe turn that bass down a bit. It's so tight. The only thing I don't like about it is that kind of like nasally kind of like it's covering it, but I think I could probably get around that by maybe adding some mids on the mic pre and maybe upping the high end. Now don't forget this high end's set at 16k, so it's quite high frequencies, but it just adds that bite to it, which takes away that bit of that nasally stuff. Fucking hell, it sounds so tight and so chunky. So personally, I really love that sound. It's sounding really, really good. But we'll go back to the LTD and we'll see how it sounds now. Because it's always a balancing act to try and get everything to sound good in every tune. Things need tweaking. Let's see what this sounds like. Fucking hell, that sounds awesome. It's still a bit muffled for me. I'd like to clean it up. I'd probably clean it up in the DAW with some EQ cuts and stuff like that, but as far as a raw tone, sounds awesome. This probably might sound the best because it's low output. Does need that gain going up, and the treble, it's like there's no bite. Sounding absolutely awesome. Now I am rushing a bit because we're up to 23 minutes again. Long videos, these long format videos. So now we're going to go through the Friedman, which I think in the last video, to my ears anyway, sounded the best. But now this Friedman with the V30s has got, let's have a look what it's got. This has got the SE Electronics microphones on, so that'll be a bit easy to remember. So it's got the SE Electronics VR1 and the V7X. They're both on the same speaker and they're quite next to each other. And they're both on axes. So this is what this sounds like. So the reason I didn't like, I think it was a Splone, when I didn't like them, the VR1 microphone is very, very dark, and on that angle cab, which is, well, you heard it then, it's quite boomy. It was just too much, and it was, even having it low, at like a 5%, 10% mix, it was just overpowering. So I tried putting it on the Splone with the green back, and it sounded okay, and that sounded okay, but then the angle didn't sound okay, so I was like, fuck's sake, what am I going to do? So now I think I have got the right balance, because the Friedman, even though it's got V30s, it's brighter than the Engel cab, which has got V30s as well, but it is a brighter cab. And I've kind of tried to put them more on the cone, the actual middle of the cone. So I think the V7X is, I think it's actually in the middle of the speaker, and then the VR1's to the side. And it's still nowhere near as like harsh as bright as you would think. But it has got that tightness to it that the Engel has. But it is quite dark, so I'm going to lower the bass and just lower the bass. And I don't think the volume's quite as high. It doesn't seem like it's as loud. So we'll just, let's have a look. I could probably, nowhere near as loud. So I've just turned it up then. It's so tight. I would probably have a lot more gain on that because that was quite dry. Almost Fryer-esque. So this will have a lot more saturation. So, out of all of them, I think this doesn't sound the best, but I think what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to mess with the microphone mix. So I'm just turning up the V7X. I'm going to turn the VR1 down a bit. That sounded a lot better to my ears. So I'm going to add some presence with the power station. It's like you just can't get any presence into that microphone. I mean, it sounds good. Let's try it with the drop C tuning, because after all, this is what was sounding best. what can I say? It sounds good. I think the best one was probably the Swan and the Engel. And yeah, I don't really know what people use on these, whether they use Channel 2 or Channel 3 or whether they use raw, vintage or modern, but I find the Channel 2 and the vintage sounds the best for me. But if you've got any ideas of settings, let me know, I'll give them a try, because like I said, there's that much shit on these that I don't know what the script is. And I'm probably going to have a tweak of this Friedman cab, because I'm not quite happy about it. It sounds good, it just sounds distant, almost like an IR. Like, it's not in your face, and I don't know what it is. That sounds better. There we go, that's it, 33 minutes long. Everyone's had enough of me playing this, so yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.